We've all been there. A cutting word, a rude comment, a cold attitude, and suddenly our day seems to unravel. That inner peace we thought was solid dissolves like smoke, overtaken by anger, frustration, a sense of injustice. But what if I told you, no one has the power to shake you unless you let them? That there's a kind of strength, silent and serene, that makes you unshakable, even in the face of the harshest provocations. That's what this video is about: how to develop such deep emotional mastery that neither chaos, nor criticism, nor life's inevitable frustrations can break your balance. Imagine waking up and walking through the world wearing an invisible armor, not cold, not arrogant, but forged in clarity and self-control. Imagine no longer being disturbed by criticism, no longer drained by small offenses, no longer reacting impulsively. This is not about pretending you don't feel. It's about learning to choose what deserves your energy and what should simply pass. The Stoics called this emotional freedom, the power to not be enslaved by automatic reactions, the power to keep your mind steady like a rock, even when everything around you is trying to pull you down. In this video, we'll dive into 10 transformative lessons based on Stoicism and emotional intelligence. These are practical, profound principles that will help you stop reacting impulsively, abandon the habit of constant irritation, and protect the most precious thing you have, your peace. By the end of this journey, you'll understand that true strength isn't in winning arguments or humiliating your attacker or shouting louder. It's in staying calm, clear, and centered, especially under pressure. And that is a power no one can take from you. How many times have you stayed angry for hours or even days over something someone said in seconds? The truth is, what hurts us most isn't what others do. It's the meaning we attach to it. Epictetus said, "It's not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them." No one truly pushes your buttons. You give them the access. The provocation exists, yes, but your reaction is your choice. When you deeply understand this, a new kind of freedom is born. You stop being a puppet to other people's actions. You begin to see someone may act poorly, but whether that consumes you is up to you. Every time someone tries to get under your skin, pause and ask yourself, is this worth losing my peace over? Almost always, the answer will be no. And that is liberation. We live in a culture that glorifies quick comebacks, verbal confrontations, having the last word. But the Stoics knew something most haven't realized. Real power is in silence. When someone attacks you, they expect a reaction. If you respond with fury, you hand them the victory. But if you respond with silence, you take back the power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best response to an insult is to ignore it." That's not weakness, that's mastery. Silence protects you from saying something you'll regret. It shields you from impulsive mistakes. And most of all, it shows that your peace is not up for sale. Learning to remain silent in the face of provocation is like raising a wall between you and the chaos. It's not passivity, it's strategy. It's you saying with maturity and strength, "My energy will not be wasted on what doesn't elevate me." Some provocations aren't invitations to dialogue. They're emotional traps. People poke at you, not to solve anything, but to unbalance you. And the more you respond, the more fuel you give them. The Stoics understood, giving attention to what doesn't matter is betraying your own peace. Epictetus said, "If someone offends you, it is your mind that decides whether that's an offense or just noise." When you learn to see certain comments as mere wind, as passing noise that doesn't touch you, then you've already won. Ignoring is not running away. It's choosing. It's you saying, "This is not worthy of my energy." Indifference, when born from clarity, is a form of wisdom. And more than that, it's power. Because it shows you may not control the world, but you control yourself. And that, in itself, is a quiet revolution. Most people are trapped in their own pain, frustrations, and confusion. When someone hurts you, it's almost never about you. It's about something broken inside them. Marcus Aurelius said, "People do what they do because they don't know what they're doing." When someone offends you, they're often just repeating a wound they haven't yet healed. But if you take everything personally, you become a mirror of someone else's chaos. The wise person sees differently, with compassion. He doesn't absorb the poison, he observes from a distance. That doesn't mean accepting everything. It means understanding. This says more about them than about me. That awareness creates space, and in that space, peace is born. It's not coldness, it's clarity. And when you practice that clarity, you not only suffer less, you begin to illuminate others. When someone provokes you, the way you respond shows who's really in control, you or them. To shout, justify, explode, this gives your power away. It's like saying, "My emotions are in the hands of whoever upsets me." The Stoics knew, real power isn't in winning the argument. It's in not needing it. The one who responds with serenity shows that their worth doesn't depend on being understood. Epictetus said, "No one harms you unless you allow it." You can choose calm. You can choose silence. You can choose not to carry the poison thrown at you. And that choice is a quiet declaration. I am enough. When you are enough, you stop reacting and start leading. Yourself first, then the space around you. A large part of our anger comes from feeling diminished, humiliated, ignored. But that pain only cuts deep when you believe you need someone else's validation to feel whole. You don't. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul remains unconquered when it refuses to be stained." Your worth doesn't depend on others' approval. It depends on your inner clarity. When you know who you are, criticism loses power. Offenses become irrelevant. Comparisons lose meaning. Because you've stopped playing their game. The game of who shouts the loudest, who wins the argument, who looks the strongest. The Stoic leaves that arena. He doesn't need to win because he's already won within. And that kind of presence commands respect without ever raising a voice. When you stop trying to prove yourself, you start simply being yourself. And that changes everything. People who talk too much are often hiding a void, justifying, explaining, defending themselves constantly. But silence is the shield of those who know themselves. It unsettles those who live on appearances. It frustrates those who want to provoke you, and it protects your peace. The Stoics knew you don't have to react to everything. Sometimes silence is the loudest response, because it shows you don't need the last word. You need peace. Some might think your silence means they've won, but they don't understand. Your victory isn't in the argument, it's in your freedom from contamination. The world is loud. Social media screams. People fight over everything. But you can be the exception. The one who listens more, reacts less, and lives better. Silence is a fortress, and few know how to live within it. There's a silent pressure to fix everything at once, to heal the pain, control your emotions, always get it right. But real life doesn't work that way. It demands patience, and more than that, presence. The Stoics didn't preach perfection, but consistency. Epictetus said, "We must train like athletes of the mind." That takes time, and it demands that even on hard days, you don't abandon yourself. Don't criticize yourself for feeling. Don't punish yourself for falling. Just keep going. Keep returning to your center. Keep choosing virtue, even when it seems pointless. Transformation happens in the accumulation of silent choices, not in grand revolutions. Healing begins when you stop sabotaging yourself and start embracing yourself. One step at a time, one day at a time. Stoic philosophy doesn't ask you to win every day, only to not give up on being whole. Every time you allow disrespect, a harmful habit, or a destructive thought, you're shaping your character, not with words, but with permission. Stoicism isn't just about enduring pain. It's about choosing, with strength, what you'll no longer accept. Marcus Aurelius said, "The virtuous man is the one who refuses to be corrupted by ease." Often, what weakens you most isn't what attacks you. It's what you tolerate in silence, out of fear of confrontation. Being firm isn't being aggressive. It's being clear with yourself. It's saying, "This no longer serves me. This no longer lifts me. This no longer fits the life I'm building." The Stoics teach us your boundaries aren't a defense against the world. They're a protection of your essence. When you grow firm within, the world stops shaping you from without. Pain confuses us. It makes life seem unfair. It makes us feel abandoned by the divine. It makes the world seem cruel. But what if the very thing that hurt you was the thing that realigned you? Seneca said, "A headwind helps the ship find its course." Not all pain is punishment. Sometimes it's a push, a rupture that frees, an ending that saves. The Stoic doesn't ask, "Why did this happen to me?" He asks, "What is this trying to teach me?" Because when you begin to see pain as guidance, it loses its power to paralyze you and begins to lead you forward. What hurt you doesn't define your destiny. It defines your next choice. Choose to rise. with more clarity, with more awareness. Because maybe that blow wasn't the end. It was the beginning of your real path. Most people don't give up because they're weak. They give up because they believed pain was a sign something had gone wrong, when in truth, pain was the first step on the right path. The Stoics didn't promise a life without suffering. They promised a soul that endures, evolves, and transcends. Because strength in Stoicism isn't raising your voice. It's remaining calm when everything screams. It's not controlling the world. It's mastering yourself when the world tries to break you from within. You don't have to understand everything today. You don't have to heal it all now. You only have to not give up on your truth. Take the next step, even without knowing where it leads. Return to what matters, even if it still hurts. And remember, in every obstacle, there is a choice: to become its victim or its student. The path will remain difficult, but the difference is who you choose to be as you walk it. Because in the end, as Epictetus taught, no one is free until they are master of themselves. If this journey brought you clarity, strength, or even a little peace, leave a comment. Say what stayed with you, what you'll carry forward. And if this path feels like yours too, subscribe. Because you don't have to walk it alone. We'll be here every day, in silence, with courage, walking together.